Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the series Mastering Salesforce LWR Site. Myself, Om Prajapat. I'm a Salesforce specialist at Iber Software Services. In the last video, we understand how to use CMS content, custom labels, and how to change our site branding of LWR site within Experience Builder. And also, we build our foundation of BookVerse project. In this video, we are upgrade our BookVerse project from a static things to a dynamic way just by adding some LWC component, epic class, objects, and many more things. In the last video, we are make everything in Experience Builder and implement CMS content and custom labels from the Experience Builder only. Now, in this video, we are understand how to use CMS content, custom labels in our LWC component, and how to make a dynamic rendering also. And also we understand a better folder structure for our LWC component and how to manage our LWC component is a reusable manner. Now, in this video, we are upgrade our BookVerse project around like we are make our user authentication model, we are implement self-registration model, we are make subscription model, user profile, and many more things. Just we are implement all of things in this video. So let's begin and start and upgrading our BookVerse project. So these are the key topics that we are talk about today. Today we will create a Salesforce Lightning app in our Salesforce for the BookVerse, and then we will implement Salesforce authentication for our LWR site and also make self-registration enable where user can authenticate and log in our site using our credential, and if user have no account then he can also create a new account while registering. For now, we will use Salesforce default LWR login method. In upcoming video, we will implement how to add SSO login in our Salesforce LWR site. Then we will go through and understand Salesforce LWC folder structure, that how to manage our Salesforce LWC component in a better manage and maintenance. That will be helpful for our scalable project. It will be not only for LWR. That's LWC component folder structure are useful for other components and other project also. That's make like you can also implement that logic in our other project. Now, after all of that, we will create some LWC component and add that LWC component in our LWR site and understand best practices and best LWC best practices and APIs that will be helpful for our LWR site. We will also implement style.css where we will centralize our branding and typography code on CSS token. That will be helpful that centralize our CSS token that we can reuse in our other component by using just like a SLDS tokens. After all of that, we will publish and push our project code in our GitHub. That will be helpful to make a better version controlling, multiple contribution and backup of our code cloud side. So let's begin start. So first of all, this you have to just open Salesforce. Inside the setup, just inside the setup, let's create an app first. For the app, first of all, let's understand the business logic. That's what's the business logic of our BookVerse and what is the data model. For that, let's create what is the key requirement. Requirement just like a user come over the page and read books inside by here is a key requirement that a user come to our site and they will be subscribed for a paid membership, then he can able to read our book content. It's a simple sorted logic. For that, just we need to create some components. For that, According to this, we have to create some object over there, such like an contact object and a product object and account object and a subscription object where we will define which type of subscription is user have. For here, we will use contact object that's identify the user details. That's which user will be assigned to the which contact or which subscription. Now here we will define account, that it will define that which types of contact is it. Like we have multiple types of contacts, just like BookVerse reader, BookVerse author, books for admin, and many more. We will go for BookVerse reader for now. In upcoming part, we will introduce our BookVerse author and other product accounts. Now, in the next, we will use product. This product is the defined that types of our subscription and their price books. That's all fields are Salesforce standard fields that we are used. According to Salesforce, use the standard we first. That's why just because Salesforce provides many features in the standard side, you have not need to implement and create everything from scratch. Just use that object. Here we will define our subscription model. I think that will be pretty fine. I just okay, it will be a good thing about. Now after all of this, let's connect this stuff. Here we are introduce our object and create custom object for subscription. Here we are create a custom object for the subscription where we will define which user type and which the date of the order. For an example, like a contact ABC product Now, here we can see our subscription model will be connected to the product and contact, just like contact is connected to the and here our product is connected with this product. That makes sense. Like here we can define a contact is subscribe for a membership of our subscription on this date, and subscription will be end on that date according to subscription. Inside over here we will define the subscription details, first like which type of subscription is it, subscription duration, and many more things. So let's begin. Start. Go to the Salesforce screen. Inside the Salesforce, just I already created an app for the BookVerse over here. I gave a demo about it, that what we have implemented over here. Here I will add, okay, and need about this. For now, let's remove this first. For creating an app in our Salesforce, just go for the app manager. Inside the app manager, go to the app manager. Here, click on new lightning app. Inside the new lightning app, just type your app name. For now, I will use BookVerse. Here, I will use our BookVerse image. I hope so. It should be over here, not at here. I will skip this part. Just click next. I don't want utilize term. Now, according to our requirement, I need a contact object, a product object, and a subscription object on account. I already created a subscription object over there. I will tell you about that which field we have to add. Now I will define that my system admin only that can access that app. Now I will create an app about it. BookVerse, just navigate to the app and open the app. Here now we can see our everything's are looking fine, and I already implement and create some basic records in our product. That's like such like a BookVerse standard, starter and premium plan according to the book code and according to the title. Over here, just open the book standard. Here I will define our book product code and book family. That's our book product is a monthly basis that I will define in the product family, and our product code in the product code that is standard monthly. Same for the other ones, and I define contact over here. Now let's go to the subscription part. Inside the subscription, here we can see I already created some records. Just skip this, ignore this. Just ignore this stuff. Go to the object. Inside the object manager, just click on the fields. Here I will tell you about which fields are we will create here. Here I will create an amount field that will become from the product price book that I will purchase and a subscription for XYZ amount. It will become over here by auto populated. For an example, here I will go to the BookVerse Premium. Inside the related, there is a price book that Salesforce already provide and linked to the product. Here I define a standard price and is inactive. That price will, when the user purchase a subscription, the price will be automatically filled over here. Here, if the user purchase a subscription and check the auto renewal process, that's I want user want to the product will be auto renew and automatic purchase in the next part. Then we can also check this. Now here I will define a business cycle of our product. That's I will purchase a product of monthly basis or yearly basis. That's value are be filled up here in a pick list value, just like monthly, yearly or quarterly according to the subscription base. Here I will give and date of the subscription, like I will purchase a monthly plan on the 1 June, then my subscription will be add up on the first sale. Then the next billing date according to end date and other stuff like payment status, price book entity, product, which subscription you have purchased, with the start date, with the subscription status, and who's the user will be subscribed. In the LWR site, we identify our contact in the Salesforce LWR site as a new user, just like we will create our contact as a user in our site. We will go through this part. Now let's create some users and make our site working for the end user also. For that, just go to the home setup. Inside the setup, first of all, let's create a profile clone. That will be helpful to make our profile for our BookVerse and identify and differentiate from other profile. Why we will create a clone of a profile instead of using the same profile as well? Just because if we will make some changes in our standard profile, then there is no backup process and there any undo process we can go to the web. That's why we will create a clone of a profile. For now, there's some multiple types of profile like customer, community, login user, custom, community plus login user. There's no any major difference as my now. There's a simple difference, just like in the customer login user, here no any report field over here. There's no report over here, dynamic reports and dashboard, but inside the plus we can see the report fields over here. Now let's create a clone of a customer, community plus login user and give the name as a BookVerse reader. Here I will give a pattern name that will identify that this profile is for my BookVerse readers. Now I create a profile. Let's move forward and give some permission of our objects. Here inside the profile we create a next subscription. Now give the access of the subscription over here and some other permissions of product and other stuff. Now save and I just click on the new by mistake. Okay, this will be just a wrong click about. Now let's check our subscription will be done or not. Permission. You can see our subscription permission will be so. Now again enable for the Apex. For this Apex, we will tell you about what will be implemented in the future. Now let's create some users and contacts for our group. Let's go to the Salesforce and inside the app, just create some user. During the contact creation for the community site, we have to make sure that our contact will be assigned for a contact. If we will keep this as a blank and save this contact, we cannot able to see a button over here that's make our user as a community user. Now let's add it again. Here let's add contact. I already create an account for here. Now go for this. Here we can see it's a simple details of an account. No any advanced thing here. Now we can see our buttons will be showed up here like enable community, customer user and other stuff. If the button will be not showed to you, let's go to the edit page inside our contact record page and here just click on the highlight panel and inside the highlight panel just update this. You can also apply these things from our record page layout. We are going with the lightning record page layout and click on this and finish. After finishing this, if the button are not showed here like just like this, now add the button from here and enable customer user and same for the login. Now install this up here and now save it. After saving this, activate it the first time assign as an all default. Next. See, go back. Now we can see our enable customer user will be shown here. Now we will enable as a customer user. Here we can see our user panel will be shown here. Now given a better email for the user, where the email will be sent for the rest of the task. Here I will select a better rule, and same for the user license and same for the profile. I create a profile, BookVerse reader. I select my profile here. Now let's save this. There is a duplicate error as we cannot create an email about it. Now I will create an user in our profile and in our Salesforce. Now let's add this profile to our Experience Cloud site. That's if the user will be created, user can log in our Salesforce site. Now let's move forward and open the Salesforce site over here. Go to the Salesforce site. You can close this, yes. Now go to the workspace. Inside the workspace, go to navigate to the admin. Inside the administration, go to the login and members, and inside the members just click on all, and here add your recently created profile and save. After saving this, it should make our user can log in over the site. Now we can see no error will be shown here. Let's move forward and make sure that our changes are reflected and our profile will be created successful or not. Just go back inside the builder. Just firstly publish our site. Now again go to the BookVerse over here, and here let's log in our recently created user. I create a new user like name Aman Sharma. Here now we can see a button will be shown up here, login to the Experience Cloud user. It will be logged into our site by this user. The user will be logged in. Here we can see our user will be logged in and equal to view details. For now, there is a login button just because this is hard coded. We will implement that thing if the user will be logged in. Don't show the login button and show the user profile. Just stay tuned. Now let's go to the site again. Here let's implement user authentication method and self-registration. For that, just again go to the builder. Inside the builder, just open administrator. Here in administrator, just click on the login and registration. Here give your profiles and account. I already gave my account. Now click on the profile. If your account or contact will be not shown here, just search like this. If you search now, here again type your account name over here. if the account name will be not shown. It will be possibility and the such issues in the Salesforce site. That's it will be not show the profile. And for the self-registration, check this page. It will provide that user can also register our profile in the Salesforce and create a new user. Now after all of the changes, now save it. After saving these changes, again go to the builder. Inside the builder, let's implement self-registration form and login form. Now go to the login page. Here we can see some pages are already created by the Salesforce itself when we create a Salesforce LWR site. Inside the login, here we can see a simple login page and simple registration page. Now let's test it out. Why it will not open my link over here? Let's copy it. Open incognito and here let's open this page. Now recently I created a profile and an user in our Salesforce. Let's use that user for this. Now let's get this user. Go to the user menu and reset the password of that user. When we create an user, here Salesforce will provide a reset button. That's by click on this button, the reset email link will be sent to the best user email. Now I will open this email and check out that's the mail will be received or not. Here we can see my mail will be received over here. Open link and let's make a password. Now I will create a new password for this user. Same for this. Change. After creating the password, we can see our password will be changed. Now let's check the login button and login feature are working or not. For that, I will give my username over here. Now let's see. Now our user will be logged in and we can see our user will be logged in and he can access our site. Now let's change the login button as in dynamic according to the current logged in user. We have our experience builder. Inside the experience builder, I hope see that the standard way to change that thing. If there is no extended method, we will change this to the dynamic using the LWC. There is no standard way to show our user over here. Now we will create our LWC for that. For now I will skip this part. Let's check our self-registration also working or not. Now again go to the login. Inside the login, I am not a member. It should be redirect to the self-registration form. Here I have to put the value of the user. I gave a user for the new created. For the new creation, I gave a better name of Raj and give a name of Raj at the rate Mohan and third one. That's user already created. Now let's change the username and give another name like Okay, I already logged in, that's in my fault. I have to close this because we will not add any login and a logout button for that. Let's log in site. Not any user over here. Here I give a hash one. Now after getting this, we can see our user will be created, and now let's check our user is created or not. When we create a user, we can see a new contact is also created and assign a new account for this. Now let's check the user also created or not. We create a harsh movement. Here we can see a harsh movement will be show up here. It's given user nickname and assign this user as a contact to the harsh movement. Now, what we are done till now, we will build a lightning app for our BookVerse page. We will configure authentication and self-verification method by the Salesforce standard way. Now let's explore our LWC component folder structure and architecture of LWC component. That's things that will be implemented in our any project. It will be make our project will be very scalable. Just open VS Code. Inside VS Code, as you know how to retrieve and how to make a local environment setup of our Salesforce project in our VS Code. If you don't know about it, just go for it and pause the video first. Here I will define how to make a local environment setup of VS Code. For now I go for this. Here I already created some LWC component for this. I'll just go for here. Here I will Here I already created some LWC component. Now let's understand what we are creating over here. Here I will create some LWC components such like a Salesforce global help. Here I will give PV as a prefix of our project. For example, my project name is BookVerse. So I pick my project name is BookVerse. So I pick PV as a prefix and our component name and our details. Let's move this from here. So I will be easier to identify. That's why we are talking about. Now here is a PV and what is the rule and what is the component is it. For example, we will create a page for the home and it will be single time only. So I give name as a page home. It will be easy to identify that this component is a home page for my BookVerse project. Now I want to create a common card for all the pages that I will reuse in the multiple components. For that I give a here it will be defined about it. That's my project. This component is a card component. That's a common component and we can use in other components as well as. Same for other stuff, just like we want to manage our labels. Here we can see I already create some architecture and LWC components in our Salesforce. That's a common. Inside the common we will define some details over here. We create some services, messaging services is all will be centralized way. That's a label will be centralized, that messaging services labels, custom labels, common labels, home page labels, user labels, it will be centralized. We have no need to identify all these things. When I go to the code side, I will define that's how and why we will use these things. And same for the constant, that will be some details and the page, the content and etc stuff. Now let's check out this what we built. For just go for the book for header. Here inside the book header, we will implement some HTML and some CS code over here. I will share all the code and repository link in the description. You can go and check out this and implement in your site. Here we can see I will use messaging service in the centralized way. That's same messaging service we can use in other components. We have no need to recreate and refind the import and include another Salesforce messaging service in other component. We will reuse our same component in other. Same for the constant, where I will define some CMS key, name pages, that will define the routing and other stuff. Over here, default photo URL and this other stuff. Same for the common labels, I will define over here. Now here, I will use some Salesforce API that will be Salesforce provide over here. Instead of creating Apex for everything, we can also use Salesforce API. For an example, here I use this. It will be site URL ID. It will be user ID according to the Salesforce site. That will be give a site ID of the Salesforce. This will be give a user ID of the Salesforce current logged user. Same for the get contact and other stuff. Now go to the constant. Here we can see I will define and centralize all the things like CMS keys and logo. It will be identified. That is the site logo key of my CMS content. Here it will be defined and centralize all the stuff. Now whenever I will change our pages and implement some other things in our pages, I just need to add the page links and here only. Not need to add a link to other pages and other components over here. Same for the labels over here. Here I defined label, and inside the label I will define the common label. Then we just need to implement and include the labels according to my requirement. Not all the stuff will be created or right in my other components. That's me not a good sense and note and better readable and scalable code of our LWC component. That's why we will use a better folder structure. It's the best practices of the LWC and LWR and Salesforce also. Now let's implement that LWC component in our site and make changes over here. Now let's remove this alt header. We have no need of this and this. Here we can see I already create a global header. It's named just like global header we will use in the all pages of my BookVerse. That's why I'll give a global link. Same for the other stuff, just like page, home page. It will be identified that page are for the home page of only. Now let's publish, and before publishing let's test other things. Now let's check that's how things are working over here. Here I give everything that will show here as in dynamic, not in the hardcore anything. Just you can see I will create and implement over here. Here we can see we use this as a reusable component, where I will create an LWC component for this, and here I pause the title and subtitle from the home page. It will be create and render a new header section of everything. Now same for the card side. Here I will define the card details over here. Let's find out the card, and here I will define the card according to type. We have three types of card. It's a common card, books card, membership or plan card. Now here, this is a plan card. We will give a plan card details, action labels. Now let's move forward and understand other things. Over here, we can see everything will work fine. We will create an LWC component. This is not an coding series. Here I will show you how to use LWC component and make a better LWR site and mastering Salesforce LWR site over here. Not as a code. We will talk about that how to make a better code, using Agentforce Vibe and other AI stuff in the upcoming series. Here we can see our site will be showed here. Let's publish and test from the end user side. Till now, what we are till here we can see we are done with these things. We are implement our LWC component. We will create some LWC component. We will create a lightning app. We will implement authentication and self-registration in our site, and we will understand a folder structure. Now let's move forward. That's how to define a centralized style.css for our site. For that, just you have to go to the Salesforce browser in the VS Code. Inside the VS Code, after this, just here retrieve your digital experience site. After retrieving this, it will be take a time for why. Just wait for it. Now inside the digital experience, just open it. Inside the site, here click on your site, and here sftx cms style.css. Here you can define your site pattern and typography and branding. Over here, that will be we can use in our other components. Such for an example, open this. I will use this stuff over here as a reusable manner, such like this. This all values are come from here. That if I will change the color and the branding or the typography in the style.css, all the changes are reflected in the other components as well. So we will understand that how to build and make authentication and self-registration in our LWR site, a better folder structure for LWC component, what is the best practices of Salesforce LWC and LWR, how to branding and use style.css for the Salesforce LWR site and implement this thing. Now let's set up Git and make our project in the GitHub. For that, just first of all, we have created a GitHub repository in our GitHub. Inside the GitHub, now let's create a GitHub repository for our project. Let's create a GitHub repository in our GitHub. Now after creating repository, just let's firstly delete other things that are not a part of our BookVerse. Just like we will retrieve other site details over here. But now I will delete this and retrieve again for the BookVerse only. Let's make our BookVerse details only will be shared to the GitHub. Let's check everything. Not from the project itself. Now let's implement things. Now let's retrieve our digital experience site of BookVerse only. Same for the configuration. Same for the site, where is the site and network. Retrieve network over here. Same for the site. Where's the site over here? I hope so. There's an option of site, not yet. Then we can go forward. Now let's add this to our repository. For that, let's add the removed branch over here. Now let's add the remote branch over here and push to the branch over. This is a simple thing that will be done over here. Now just reload this page and check either our code and details are shown. Now here we can see our everything will be shown here. Just you have to check out these things. That's our sftx folder, and sf folder will be not go to this just because it will be store our credential details and org details. You have to you are sure about it. That's not anything, and for sure about the GitHub ignore file will be showed. Now let's move forward and check either what we do until now. We will implement all of this stuff. We will create an LWC Lightning app over here. We will make authentication setup. We will implement some LWC component. Now let's final test from the end user side. Now just reload this page. We will publish, we can see that our user will be shown here. Here inside the profile page, user can change and manage its current membership over here. Now let's check either the membership will work or not. For now, I will make membership and subscription model just a simple way, not a payment method, not as a gateway and recaptcha other stuff. Now when the user click on the subscription, and a record will be created in our Salesforce over here according to user details and other stuff. I will create any subscription for the Harsh Mohan in the here for this premium. Here we can see and record will be created for the Harsh Mohan on this date, and subscription will be end on this. That's all will be things are done from using the Apex LWC code. I will already share this repository in your description. You can go and check out that how things are will work. Here will be all things work fine, and we can also read book, search over the books over here, and also filter the book according to books category. That's all contents I'll be shown here. It's a dynamic using a CMS content. As we know how to use CMS content over here, that's it with some demo of code. That's what CMS over here in the card. Inside the card, here I will send a card details and card types over here. Now how the card details and card type details will be shown here. For that we are use cover books page, other stuff, and contents. This method will be help to get the CMS contents from the collection over here. Now for that, let's move forward in the home page. Where the home page? Page home. That's the home page. Inside the home page, we are use and CMS content key that will be stored as the CMS content key of my collection. That will retrieve our all collection of the books. In the upcoming part, we are upskilled the CMS contains and the products that will make a inventory management and other stuff that's high selling and other stuff. So stay tuned and keep learning, keep improving your BookVerse and LWR site. Stay tuned. Thank you.